like pretty much 45 minutes an hour every day to work, to and fro. She uses her
blinkers,
her windshield wiper spray.
Oh, now that is some good shit.
That's some passive aggressive shit.
What do you mean? Like it sprays?
You know
all the
how
way
you
back
wash
to the
in your
car?
window? Yeah,
Yeah.
it sprays them and gets their whole car wet.
Oh man.
So then they get out of the way, not realizing that she did it on purpose. Because
Yeah.
it's not really hostile. You're not slamming your brakes on. You're not slowing down a lot.
Right. It
Little,
just goes
little spritz.
goes to show how close you are. Yeah,
Exactly.
but I had this.
Nice.
That's good shit. I've been using that ever since. I like that.
I had this stupid bitch behind me tailgating. Then she tries to get around and gets cut by a parked car on the side. So, you know, and then finally when she got a clear away, I burned the shit out of her. I was thinking, like, you're not going to get a fucking head of me. So we pulled up at the light. She kept pulling behind me and saying, we're at the light. We're meeting at the same time. And that happened 3 lights till she finally, you know, cut loose and got ahead. But I was like, big
Young or old?
Asian driver.
Man, my
Wow.
Asian brethren.
Asian
What's
driver.
up? What's up?
You stop in the middle of the street,
It's such a horrible stereotype,
but it's true.
but goddamn,
It's
man.
like I said at the beginning of the show, you don't see Asian NASCAR drivers. Here's a story. I
Tokyo
used to date
Drift.
a Chinese girl that lived out in Walnut Park or whatever. It doesn't matter. Anyway, there was a lot of Asians in that vicinity. So one night we're out on a date and we're driving on the freeway, and I get cut off like really by a horrible driver. I was pissed off, so I zoomed up, and I was like flipping off the driver, and it happened to be an Asian driver. So I was like, fucking Asians can't drive worth a shit. Something to that effect. And it was quiet for 5, maybe 10 minutes before I realized. I looked over. My poor Chinese date was bawling her ass off. She was in the fetal position crying. And I was like, I'm so sorry. She's like, I can't believe you said that. You know,
Know your surroundings, Painter. Know your surroundings.
She got emotional,
yeah,
huh?
she got really
You got emotional, and then she got...
And
No, like-
you know what the worst part about the Asian driver is after they cut you off and you go up to flip them off on the side, is they're just staring straight ahead with 2 hands on the
Right.
wheel.
Is that what it
No,
is? I mean, is it...
They don't pay attention. I've gotten the buck-tooth, you know, slant-eyed, like sorry. You know, I'm just
there you
like,
go.
and that'll calm me down. Yesterday,
Because you laugh, dude.
Yeah,
How can you
yesterday-
not laugh at that?
Yesterday, I almost caused an accident because I wasn't paying attention like
What were
a
you
fucking
doing?
idiot. I was going to Starbucks, you know, and I'm pulling in.
Why were you doing while you're
And,
driving, though?
um,
Texting?
And no, I was just like, I was going to go left into the parking lot.
Exposing
to park.
yourself to kids?
No. I was going left to park in the parking lot. And, you know, I kind of cut off. It had to be a black woman, 2 of them in the front seat. I'm talking about those, like, those scary ones. And they're like, you motherfucker. They're like, what's your fucking problem? I could tell they were pissed off, dude. So I just kept pulling, and I put it right in front of them, and I blew them a kiss.
Were
And
you
I was just
worried
like,
about you going to get your ass kicked? or-
Nah.
Oh, okay.
But I drove in front of them. I blew them a kiss, and all of a sudden their face changed. Like, no, you didn't. No, you didn't. You know, and they were like all right with it. I
A
was like,
snap in a Z.
Telling you, man, humor diffuses a lot of situations.
that's what you got to do. You got to admit. Like I admit I was wrong. You
Yeah,
know, blew them a
that's
kiss,
it.
And all of a sudden, like, oh no, you didn't. I could kind of like hear an echo. Oh
See?
no, you didn't.
Yeah, you can't compound things. I had this guy try to follow me home one time. It was a situation where I was cruising along. I mean, it's like a busy street. It's like 45 miles an hour, and it's 3 lanes. This guy either had to just wait for me to pass because there was no one behind me, or pick a fucking lane that I'm not in. Instead,
Yeah.
he chooses the lane I'm in and drives slow as fuck. So I don't like slam on my brakes. I just go around him nice and easy, look at him, give him the fucking stink eye, and then I go about my business. Then I see him follow me. I'm like, okay, motherfucker. So I'm driving, turning left, turning right, and I go down the street I live, but I pass my place. I gotta take him to my house.
Right.
Pull up next, and I use some old Air Force tactics. Put the car between him and me. And I stop, and I was like, "What's up, man?" He goes, "Do I know you?" I said, "Fuck you talking about?" He goes, "Well, you looked at me like you knew me back there." And I'm thinking, kind of like, am I getting hit on, or this is a fight? What the fuck? Like, I'm kind of confused at this point, you know? So I go, really? I said, you're that angry, huh? You'd follow someone home? And he goes, yeah, I am. Okay. Now I know he's not hitting on me. Right? So I said, oh, man. And he was a young kid, you know. I was probably maybe 3 years older than him. I was probably 27.
Yeah.
He was about 24, maybe younger. I said, listen, man. I was like, you can't be following people home. I was like, because you don't know what I have in my car, and I don't know what you have in your car. I was like, that's a fucking dangerous game you're playing. And he kind of looks at me and he goes, yeah, you're right.
So you defused the bomb.
Yeah. I said, all right, man. He's like, so do you live here? And I looked at him and I laughed. I said, think I'd take you to my house? And he starts laughing again. And I said, all right, man, you have a nice day. He goes, you too. And he drives off. I'm like, what the fuck?
So you guys been hanging out for the last 10 years.
So, and that was, that's Twig. He was asking if I lived there because he lived next door to me. He didn't realize it. Nah, just, this is road rage, man. People ready to just beat the shit out of somebody else. And I just, I don't know, man. I think I'm just too old for all that and fighting and anger. And
well, with age comes wisdom.
I don't think so.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I don't think so.
Well,
I think
there's some pissy
there was an old lady
there.
at the grocery store who wasn't wise at all about asking me if I worked there or not.
Right.
Well, that's the thing, dude.
I think wisdom is just ingrained.
Age doesn't mean a whole lot, because I've had a guy was tailgating me, and we're going down 45-mile-an-hour street, and he's tailgating me. And so all of a sudden he jumps out around me and cuts back in to where there's like only a car length for him to cut in front of me. And I'm like, wow, really? So I got up on his ass and we came to a red light. And this motherfucker was stupid enough to put his car in park, get the fuck out of his car, and he comes up and he walks up alongside my window. He's all, why the fuck you tailgating me? And I'm like, why the fuck you tailgating me and then cutting me off, asshole? And my window's cracked maybe about 1.5 inches.
Yeah,
just enough so I could talk to him. And he's all, what the fuck, man? Don't tailgate my ass. I'm like, then don't drive like a piece of shit. And he's all, get out of your fucking car. And I'm like,
okay.
Do you think I'm stupid? He's all, get out of your fucking car. I'm like, fuck you. And I rolled up my window the rest of the way. And then he's still standing there fucking outraged. And the light's green. And so I crack my window again. And I'm like, hey, how about you get in your fucking car and drive, because the light's green, asshole. And he fucking got in his car and just fucking tore.
Wow.
Angry white construction worker or what?
Angry white construction
I
guy.
nailed that
Exactly.
shit.
Really?
Yep.
Whew.
Big old Dodge Ram with fucking his tools in the back. He hadn't even taken his tool belt off of his forehead yet.
Yeah, his most important
fucking
himself.
retard. I mean, fucking stupid people. I've had an old man going into the Best Buy parking lot. We were going, and he makes his left-hand turn in front, or no. He was coming. He rips into the parking lot as I'm making my left-hand turn to go into like this little sub-parking lot. And so I pull in, and he's honking his horn. He's got his fucking wife in the car, dude. I got my wife in the car. And so he's like all up on my ass. And so I threw up my hands in the rearview mirror. So we pull around, we park. He fucking pulls down on the other side. He parks. He gets out of his car, and he's like, what the fuck are you flipping me off for? And I was like, I didn't flip you off. I just threw up my hands like, what are you doing? He's all, you fucking flip me off.
Okay.
And motherfucker pinned me up against a van and threw a punch at me when I was able to just move my head. And my wife, crazy bitch that she is, okay, and I'm not saying this now that we are fucking broken up,
She put him in an armbar.
Crazy bitch that she is, she goes, why the fuck did you talk to him like that? I'm like, this motherfucker got out of the car, threatened me, grabs me by the neck, pins me up against a fucking minivan, throws a punch at me that I just slipped by moving my head, and you're fucking talking to me about being crazy?
Wait, hold on a second. Hold on. So after you threw the punch, he missed. Then what? Did you throw a punch back?
Then my wife got in the middle of it because his wife was standing there like, you get him, Tommy. You get him.
Wow. That's where the knees come into effect.
And these are 60-year-old people.
I should have to whoop an old man's ass.
That's that. I would have kneed him in the nuts.
I'm telling you, I should have taken that punch, taken his Lexus,